a lot of these disabilities are going to end up probably in prison somewhere. Then we have real issues that you're dealing with. And then you're talking about cost. Second to that, collaboration. Again, going back to my experience in working with special needs population as a high school principal, and the community services board and the school systems, there's a lack of collaboration a lot of times. There's repetition, and no one knows what's going on, and I've sensed that many times in my experience in dealing with that. So a lot of these things, perhaps through collaboration and communication, may be something that may solve your issue that you talked about.
I just have to say that that is very offensive to assume that people with developmental disabilities are going to end up in prison.
Man, you missed my point completely. I said a lot of them that have developed, and you've not been where I have been. You've not been a high school principal. You see what's coming through that. No, not a lot. Not all of them go that direction. I agree with you, but with early intervention, we can certainly avoid that issue. Now, if I make myself clear to you, Ms. Lewis.
I still find that offensive, but anyways.
Well, I didn't mean to offend you or anyone else, but that's a fact.
Okay, well, we don't need to yell. We've got microphones.
I'm not yelling, I talk loud.
The heated exchange between Democrat Jennifer Lewis and Republican John Avoli, both vying for the seat in House District 20, could be the race with the brightest fireworks heading towards Election Day.
The answers that were given by the panel, I think it's probably the most passionate panel I've ever had. And this is the 5th forum I've done in the last 10 years.
Warren McKean is the executive director for the Arc of Augusta. He served as a moderator.
Now, there were some candidates who were more vocal than others.
Yes, there were. Those were new candidates, younger candidates, candidates who hope to unseat an incumbent or to win an open seat. And we need that kind of energy. We really need that type of diversity of thought, passion for serving the underserved, and not just looking at it as, well, that's business as usual. The state has to have a balanced budget, therefore we can only do so much. What I heard tonight were people that were passionate about making a difference and saying, well, let's look at other things. Let's look at what other states do. Let's look at other programs. And I don't think that's a discussion that we've really had in the past when we've done these panels.
9 other candidates participated in the forum, including Democrat Brent Finnegan, who is vying for the House District 26 seat, against Republican Tony Wilt. Incumbent Republican Delegate Ronnie Campbell is facing Democrat Christian Worth for House District 24 seat. Vying for the House District 25th seat are Democrat Jennifer Kitchen and Republican Chris Runyon. Republican incumbent Emmett Hanger wants to maintain the Senate District 24th seat. Hanger is facing Democrat Annette Hyde in the race. Democrat April Moore wants to unseat Republican Mark Obenchain in Senate District 26.
The incumbent Mark Obenchain is not participating with us this evening. And when I was a candidate for this same office 4 years ago in 2015, and the ARC invited me to attend an event like this, I was here. And again, Mr. Obenchain was not here on that occasion either.
There were a mix of questions from the audience and from the moderators.
What are your thoughts about increasing funding for early childhood education and early intervention to support increased capacity, outreach, and incentives for not only early educators, but also pediatric specialists such as speech therapists, occupational therapists, and physical therapists? So that's my question, but I want to piggyback on what he said. There are no pediatric physical therapists in Harrisonburg. We were on a waiting list we drive to Waynesboro, and my son was seeing one. He left to go get a better job, to make more money, and we were on a waiting list for another year during his critical years.
Kathleen Gibson's child has Down syndrome. Gibson says in Harrisonburg, there's a shortage of service providers for early intervention. At one time, she was driving to Waynesboro for services.
I also find it horrifying that we don't have services for you where you live, and that you have to travel to Waynesboro to get that service, and then they leave to find a better paying job. So that again goes back to we need to fund these services. We need to increase the reimbursement rates for these services, and early intervention, whatever we're talking about, is key.
Was there anybody on the panel who may have impressed you more than others?
I don't want to make that comment. I really don't. I've worked with many of these people that are incumbents. I have worked with on behalf of the Arc of Virginia and in other circles. So I really don't want to we're a bipartisan organization. We try to keep this in that stance.
In Weir's Cave, Elaine Rackley for Breaking Through News.